The 1975 Church Commission report reveals secret biological and chemical weapons programs. This document should have remained sealed. One line in these archives suggests a reality far wider than the authorities admitted. Popular theories like sea spray emerge from this dissonance between public fear and government files. Why does this detail remain absent from official reports? Is this silence evidence of control, or simply a deliberate absence of information? The Church Commission report, published in 1975, details massive biological research programs run by government agencies. Archives from the National Archives and the Library of Congress show guidelines for developing chemical and biological weapons. These documents establish a historical context for the capacity of states to conduct secret operations. Investigators found references to biological infrastructure and control methods that exceed standard public safety frameworks. Yet, the documents reveal a structure of secrecy that extends far beyond immediate threats. Who held the authority to classify this information? How was this knowledge kept secret for decades? Declassified documents relating to biological programs indicate complex protocols for research and agent management. The CIA FOIA reading room archives contain information on research conducted by military laboratories. These files suggest a capacity to control substances and methods classified for national security reasons. The researchers who accessed these files noted a divergence between public statements and the actual activities of the agencies. But if these programs existed, how did the fear of contamination transform into a specific biological threat like sea spray? The anomalies exist in the management of information. The archives show that managing biological risks is often obstructed by military classification and secrecy. Health authorities claim that threats are controlled by strict protocols. But the archives show a dissonance between this public assurance and the reality of hidden programs. The researchers who accessed these files suggest this dissonance is intentional. Historical documents show that information management is a recurring practice in military operations. This practice fosters distrust in official public statements. Biological conspiracy theories, such as that of sea spray, are an extrapolation of this systemic distrust. They are not based on a single event. They are based on the structure of power that controls what we are allowed to know. The archives point toward a real intention behind the theory, to expose the control of the truth. But if historical programs prepared the ground for current manipulation, what does this imply for our perception of biological security today? The documented contradictions are clear. The government denies the existence of large-scale biological weapons. Yet, the Church Commission reports and declassified documents show massive biological research programs. Risk management is presented as publicly controlled. The archives reveal that this management is often obstructed by secrecy. What was never explained is how this dissonance is maintained. The archives suggest that silence is not an absence of proof. It is a form of control. But who profits from this silence? Until now, one might believe that the fear of the invisible was merely a reaction to scientific uncertainty. But a line in the historical archives poses a fundamental problem. The documents show that managing the truth about biological threats is a recurring practice of secret military operations. Authorities claim to control the risks. But the historical evidence indicates a far more extensive capacity for control and secrecy. So, if the programs existed, why does the theory of sea spray persist as a popular narrative? Is the truth not contained within the archives we refuse to read? What if what we have seen is not a simple anomaly, but the blueprint for a system of control? The archives suggest that public perception of a threat is intentionally shaped to maintain a specific level of stability. The remaining question is how this dissonance between the reality of the protocols and the official narrative is maintained. The researchers who accessed these files suggest that secrecy is not a memory error, but an active function of the system. If historical programs prepared the ground for a current manipulation of truth, What does this imply for our understanding of biological security today? The archives point toward an architecture built on silence. A 1978 document details a specific containment protocol for non-conventional biological agents. Line 42 indicates a reallocation of resources for methods of concealment. What is documented here is a sequence of hidden events. The silence of the archives does not mean the absence of facts. It signifies a deliberate management of collective memory. This fact, recorded in the archives, remains suspended. The program is officially closed. But if the true question is not what is hidden, but why this file was reactivated today? And if the real intention behind manipulating these archives is to force us to reconsider the very foundations of our security? What lies hidden in the margins of these declassified documents? Is it the beginning, or the end, of a history we were never authorized to read? This program is officially closed. What replaced it is the next episode.